Testing, testing.
Bless you.
Hopefully we hear that. Oh.
I think you're a Blackburn fan?
Yeah. Alright, we got it. So you just talk really loudly into that. I think it's just this one, right? Testing, testing. Yeah, my butt. That was great. You can hear my sneeze.
There you go.
Alright.
So it is like there is a 36.
I can adjust that.
That's well. You need a little
Just
bit on
leave
there.
it.
I'll leave a little bit in case somebody up here might.
Yeah.
So.
Alright, so you just
to Spartan Athletic Park, here just outside the campus of Aurora University, as we get ready for the second half between Riverlight FC and Minnesota Aurora. Much like these two teams, fighting through difficulties on the field or fighting through difficulties here in the booth. Swati, we apologize for it. We're glad to have you back with us. And it will be the Lights in possession to begin the second half. Quick takeaway. Minnesota Aurora pushing forward. Chip inside towards that back post, headed softly. And a dangerous opportunity.
Another opportunity for Minnesota Aurora. Really both sides just going at it. Riverlight had the last 10 minutes to themselves, just attack after attack after attack. Nothing fell through. Same thing for Minnesota Aurora. They had a two-on-one chance that fell offside, but this has been the story of the game for both teams.
Another deep takeaway from Minnesota Aurora. Numbers towards the penalty area. Left foot across, inside, nearly flicked in on the header. Rises just above the bar.
That side of the net completely wide open. Bliff Braun didn't have a chance to scoot over, make the recovery, but ultimately did not cost her team anything.
Well, if that first half maybe woke up Minnesota Aurora, then they've been on the front foot here in the opening minute and change of the second half. At this point, each of these two teams' last game, they were coasting comfortably by multi-goal leads. Not the same case here today. Both these teams trying to vie for a Heartland Division title. Good job whipping it around the back. And the play on. Referee says continue the run. Well, Hayden, what'd you see out of that first half to kind of set the table here in the second?
That first half really showcased what both teams are able to do. Play physical battles against each other, have some awesome counterattacks, but it's really going to be a matter of who gets it in the back of the net first. Both teams very evenly matched. I was mentioning it earlier, we were talking about some high-scoring games, but this could very well be a 0-0.
Dangerous situation here for Riverlight FC. Minnesota Aurora's doing a really good job of whipping in almost these mock short corners off the free kicks. She will ask for the official march off. Dangerous opportunity coming up for Minnesota Aurora to try and take that 1-0 advantage. Weak cross, doesn't quite get a ton of altitude under it. Nice fake pushing forward. That will find its way out of the back and it will be a goal kick for Braun.
The free kick from Duong didn't have a whole lot of venom on it, and unfortunately just did not catch any of her teammates. Donnelly tried putting in the alternative cross, but nothing came of it. Right now, Riverlight playing cautiously on the back foot. This could very well be another half where by 55, 60 minutes, they've finally grown into it.
St. Anthony is the Riverlight picked out of it. Minnesota Aurora not too thrilled about it. The Lights thinking about going quickly. Devin Lynch. To that far side. Kinsey Anthony. Again, she has a 4-goal outing in the Lights' last game against Chicago Dutch Lions. And a foul on the Lights.
Fans not happy. Players a little bit questioning that call, whether or not it should have been a foul. It looks like both teams had players on the ground, and this was a judgment call for one of the referees.
Donnelly had a little bit of trouble running with that one into space. She has it back now. Chipped ahead. Opportunity for French. French unable to track it down.
Riverlight struggling to move the ball with the outside backs in both Burke and Doherty. They were kind of able to in the first half. Doherty opting for most of the chances. Ella Burke becoming more of the defensive front, playing as almost like a 3-back. But Riverlight, you can tell, just foot off the gas a little bit. It's a little weird to see.
And that pass intended, I believe, for Nugent, didn't really find anybody. Donnelly will have the throw. Now Maya, again, the high schooler with a lot of promise. Dish it off. Anthony will pressure. Hayden, would you like to see the Lights maybe get up a little bit more and see if they can't cause a little bit of pressure along his back line? Not necessarily a full team press, but maybe try and gamble some gaps.
I think this is the point in the game where you drop Mackenzie Anthony a bit deeper, kind of make her a pair with Devin Lynch in the midfield, and have Miriam and Nugent do all the pressing on the offensive front. Just run them until they can't, make that substitution around 65 minutes, and let the Riverlight just kind of run free.
All the way back to Ella Burke. Braun just has to clear it away. Is able to pick out Mackenzie Anthony. She's done a wonderful job at the top of the formation, walling off. In last game we were seeing kind of the center forwards being strong with the ball and dishing from there. Now Anthony will take a 1-on-3. Continuing to carry with the ball. Maya's unchecked in the box, able to get it to Nugent. Able to dish the keeper. Could this be it for the Lights? It's 1-0 Riverlight FC. Mackenzie Anthony able to find out the opening. Riverlight and Maya dishes it in.
That's a high schooler. Just walked past everybody. Left unmarked in the 18-yard box. Mackenzie Anthony drawing all the attention. Giving Riverlight one of their goals of arguably the season. And 1-0 against the undefeated team of 2 years.
You said it, Hayden. A future Minnesota Golden Gopher currently playing her last few days at the high school level in the postseason, able to dish out the first blow here against Minnesota Aurora. What a moment for her and this club for Riverlight FC again. Just tuning in, Minnesota Aurora undefeated through the regular season for 2 straight seasons. They're a 2-time Heartland Division champion. Riverlight FC trying to jumpstart their first few days as a club. Well, it could be a monumental win. Still a long way to go, however. This one far from over, Hayden. Icing inside. Here come the Lights pressing forward. Now, it might be easy to say, how did Minnesota surrender that goal? I'm not sure if you caught it, Hayden, but one of the center backs for Minnesota Aurora had slipped getting towards the penalty area, and that was all that she needed to crease in. But credit again to Maya, able to make Taylor Kane miss.
Getting Nugent to round the goalkeeper, securing that first vital goal. You can tell Riverlight playing with a whole load of confidence right now. But that handball call in Nugent definitely set them back at least a few steps.
That'll be Minnesota Aurora from just beyond the 30-yard line here, labeled on the football field. Emily Rossi swings her right foot into this one. Poked out, foot towards goal, and just like that, Minnesota Aurora levels.
Wow. Took 3 minutes for Minnesota Aurora to flick that one past Braun. That is what I call the old-fashioned FIFA curse. 3 minutes in, after you score, you usually concede.
It was a
really unfortunate.
It was a beautifully placed spot. Beautifully placed cross, though. Minnesota Aurora able to march forward now. The lights on the front foot. Devin Lynch plays it in behind. And offsides.
Goal, Minnesota Aurora, scored by Sophie French.
So 1-1 once again, Hayden. It's going to be a shock to the system for a little bit of Riverlight FC. Able to score that goal that you've been hunting out for the greater part of the first half. And here into the second, just to surrender the equalizer moments ago.
It's a really tough feeling, very bitter. But this is where you're going to have to see a lot of interchange between your teammates. Having this conversation of, okay, how did we get that goal in the first place? How do we do it again? And if they're able to do this moving forward, I genuinely think a second goal is on the horizon.
So Zoe able to sub off the field for his bench move. Make the first tactical sub of the second half. Ron has it. We'll take a charge at it and send a low liner towards Devin Lynch, and there is going to be a foul on Lynch for a little shove in the back.
Morgan Stone making every effort to make sure that ball is her team's. Substitution came on. It's the second of the triplets. It's number 6. Rami Rapp.
Rapp from Coastal Carolina. For Green, Colorado. Just a junior. Played in 17 matches and picking up 11 starts. Previously at Oklahoma. And this will set up a dangerous piece. Minnesota Aurora.
River Light on the back foot already. Conceding just a couple more chances. As Minnesota Aurora inch ever closer for the go-ahead goal.
Nice looking cross inside the penalty area. One touch, takes a deflection. I think this will be French, working it back. Not only whips it back inside. Good clearance by Riverlight. Anthony will run it down. Does she have an opportunity to break? Officials say play on after the contact. Stone to the near side of Donnelly. Big drive forward, out to the far side. Inside, and again, kind of got that feeling, Hayden, that Aurora FC is awake now, and they are very eager to find a second.
There's been a shock to the system for both sides. One of them still playing out of the back, the other one full, quick, high-power offense, doing everything in their power just to send that ball in the box, contest Blythe Braun, and make a goal happen.
Which nearly got there for the Lights. Big swing forward and across the far sided touch line. It will belong to the Lights. So we'll have first few substitutions coming into the contest for Riverlight FC here just south of the 16th minute.
It's like Maya Nugent will be taking her leave alongside Catella to bring in Alex Teta. And I believe that's Taylor Green.
So forward and defender swap coming in for Riverlight FC. Teta brings that length and kind of physicality to the spot that you can't necessarily bring.
And number 19, Rachel Teal, coming on
But you really can't complain about the shift that she put in. It was a really good 60 minutes of action for the high schooler.
Alexandra Teta.
Big run for it, continuing to dance out of traffic. It will be picked up by the lights. Space out here to the left. They'll try and chip it forward. Anthony's there. Anthony has it inside the penalty area, trying to curl it back inside, and it will be a goal kick.
I'm not too sure if that was a goal kick. I'm not certain that Anthony got the final touch to that one. Felt like that could have gone off of a Minnesota Aurora defender, but will be a goal kick. Riverlight finally found the on switch.
Pushing forward, Teta. Only has it, works it back. And here come the lights. Not necessarily pressing, but trying to just make them think about every pass. Big try forward here from one of the center backs from Aurora. Big played up the left side. Able to get through. And will be cut off by the lights. Beautifully done. Forced a goal kick.
Good work from Taylor Green. Started in the home opener, had a good debut. Playing that one off what looked like Sophia French. Just allow Riverlight to reset. It's a smart play.
Anthony trying to get there. Lynch has her back. Pressure on. O'Hara. Finds its way all the way back to Taylor Kane. And she made a very spectacular save in that first half. Keep the game 0-0. On the other end, Braun essentially answered it with a very similar save, which held us in a scoreless first half. So both the goalkeepers have seen some action today. Chip forward. Teta flicks ahead on it. Nicely done. Mackenzie Anthony has it cleaned up. But that's again where you take Maya Nugent out and you put Teta in. There's that length, size, ability to go up and get those aerial balls.
Really good headed ball on, looking for Anthony. Tried to play it through the legs. Wasn't the right decision at the time, as what appeared to be Simmons just closed her down almost immediately. Riverlight knocking on the door, however.
Lynch plays it to the far side. Bodies forward here for the lights. Even break. Continuing to run through. Has an opportunity to play it short. Will. Doherty crosses it back inside. Get to that left foot. Really dribbled it all the way through. It's like each passing minute, the lights growing slightly bolder in their chances. O'Hara off to Lynch, and nobody was there except for Anthony, but it was overcooked.
Looks like Lynch wanted to slot Anthony through immediately. Unfortunately for her, had both center halves on her. Not able to break off, try to go chase that ball. I think this may be a game of play it off the wing, let the wingers cut in, almost like just a really key player cuts in almost as a second, maybe even third striker.
Big run forward again. Here comes Minnesota Aurora. Can French run it down? It'll be a throw-in for Minnesota Aurora. Test works. Trying to unhitch the trailer and pick up a little more speed. Right-footed cross in. Headed out, but not cleared. And sailing through the football goalposts for a goal kick.
3 points in the other football. Nothing here.
Well, one of the other variety would, in fact, net them 3 points in the table if they were able to hold on. And Minnesota Aurora has not lost into a season match in 2 years. Made it all the way to the final in their inaugural season. USLW. Just such a well-run organization, Riverlight FC. They're very similar. They're still in the infancy of their organization. Going back the other way. Minnesota Aurora again, pushing forward. Lights trying their best to keep him out of airspace. Left-footed attempt, and it kisses off the crossbar. And it's, I say football's a game of inches. Well, that was just about equally said for this match. Hayden is a goal kick for Braun.
Yeah, crossbar has been the enemy for both teams, also the savior. Really keeping this game as tight as possible at 1-1. It was a great whack from DeWan, about 20, 25 yards out. Can't complain too much there.
Crossbar has indeed been a constant. We've had a halftime hit the crossbar challenge with a couple of younger kids in attendance today. They were able to do it. And it must be maybe 4 or 5 efforts on goal so far in this one, where it has kissed off the crossbar of the side post. And we'll stick with Aurora. So Aurora continuing to inch closer towards goal after all these throw-ins. Hayden, each team's made 1 or 2 moves off the bench. Do you foresee as we get closer to the 70th minute, maybe trying to swap some more off and maybe get some more fresh legs in the forward spots?
Wouldn't be too surprised if Minnesota Aurora made a change up front. French Wirtz still trying to run out this team, but Riverlight, I don't think we're going to see an offensive change. I think it might be a midfield change.
Anthony tries to work out a 4. It was a nice pass from Tana to set it up. In 68th minute. Donnelly against Teta. Neither team just able to solve the mystery of that back line. Just down dancing through traffic by Duong. Right to Anthony. She doesn't have any bodies forward to play to. Plays it right back. There's a chance. And you see Hayden, as soon as Anthony essentially gets the ball on either of her feet, there's 2 or 3 Minnesota Aurora players there marking her.
They know the threat that Anthony brings. She put 4 past the Dutch Lions with relative ease. You're not going to see a much more talented forward than that, able to create space for herself, give herself time to turn, create chances for her teammates, even to create a couple for herself. I don't blame her putting 3 players on her.
Well, it's one of those spots, right, where she's essentially backing in a defender, almost like a posting up in basketball, asking for the ball at her feet. Next move is to try and move with it. If she can't find anything, then she'll play it off. Aurora's done a really good job of keeping the wings in check, making them work, making things take just a little bit longer until those center backs and holding midfielders can come up, try and make a play on the ball. One for Minnesota Aurora, not too effective. Trying to play it to Teta. Now Captain Morgan Stone. that left wing towards the attacking third. Right-footed effort inside the penalty area. Shot on the way and it's saved. What a diving stop from Braun.
Braun having to readjust herself last second to be able to make that snag. Already leaning to her left, but making that quick adjustment to the right shows why she is such a tough keeper to beat.
Trying to thread the needle. Keyhole was immediately shut. The Lights have done a really good job, though, Hayden, when they've gotten those close calls at the back end, staying composed, and immediately working for the outlet and the counterattack.
And that really comes down to the help of Devin Lynch and Shea Doherty. They've been some talented creators so far for Riverlight in the opening 70 minutes, and I think that's what's been the big key for them.
So we'll have a stoppage here. Yes. So it appears that maybe one of the Minnesota Roar players was shaken up. Rose will have a little bit of a hydration stoppage here at the 72nd minute. It's still 1-1.
It is a bit warm outside. I don't totally blame them. The sun has only gotten warmer. It is on turf. It always heats up the field a couple more degrees. And, well, you noted it earlier before the game. There's not a cloud in the sky.
Not a cloud in the sky here. Again, playing in Aurora, Illinois. So one of the teams is called Aurora FC. But from Minnesota. And again, they are the class of the USLW. Currently ranked in the top 10 of the USLW power rankings. This would be a statement game. Light FC could come out with all 3 points, although a draw, not necessarily bad, but it's the home leg. And like you said, you'll see them as soon, about a week from now, on that away.
You're going to need all the points you can get at home. The big quote for a great many teams is win your home games. You win those home games, points are going to start racking up. Away days are always the toughest. You have a lot of fans yelling at you. You have the entire team, the elements, not behind you. Make your home games count. You pick up that second goal. There's only 19, 20 minutes left. You got to make it count now.
Well, Riverlight FC has asked a few questions of the back half of the formation of Minnesota Roar, but vice versa. Minnesota Roar has definitely had their fair share of opportunities. So, of course, all that time spent just then will come back on in the stoppage time. Added on once we hit the 90-minute mark. We'll have the drop ball and resume of play.
Looks like we've seen a pair of substitutions for Riverlight. Number 15, Adriana Miriam, is out. For number 12, Olivia Cianelli. And then for Minnesota Aurora, Barton subs out after an injury. Then we'll bring in number 12, Taylor Shell.
Long thought she maybe had a case there as they were pushing the play forward. Aurora still in possession. Will roll all the way to Braun. She has been on her toes today. He's only conceded the one. It came off a free kick.
Which ultimately, you have to say, that's still a really good day for the goalkeeper. Against Dutch Lions, noted a couple times, didn't get too many reps. Only saw the ball a handful of times, and seeing it a lot today, which always boosts the confidence.
Really playing forward, trying to find that second ball in the midfield or in the forward third. So far, both teams done a really good job of shutting off the water, so to speak. Not much to drip through. Roll across the near-sided touchline for a Riverlight FC throw-in. Just skated off the foot of the backline defenders. Casey Lowry from Colorado State, Littleton, Colorado. 17 in the teal and white.
Looks like Wirtz was subbed out for her. Give Lori a few minutes and let her run her course.
Excuse me, Taylor Shell. Correct number on there. Mixed up my 2 and my 7. From up here, it's a little hard to see, but it is number 12. So that's Taylor Shell, one of the midfield defenders from Miami, by way of Richmond, Virginia. It's an all-academic ACC selection. Here's Devin Lynch working against Shell. Shell goes down. Lynch trying not to foul, but clear safety. And she can't believe it. Now here comes Minnesota Aurora going quickly. It's been a couple of those moments in this game for both sides, or maybe they haven't liked the call on instead of immediately flushing it, getting it right back to it. A little bit of time hung up in discussion.
I think the big benefactor here is there's one constant. It's Devin Lynch. She's always on the end of these calls, most of which she has not received. That one, I can see the argument for it. Shell playing the ball between her feet on the ground, and not really something you're supposed to do. It's deemed unsafe.
And on takes a deflection, nearly falls right to the feet of Anthony. And here's Taylor Shell. Back to the top of the formation for French. And back out wide. 3 bodies forward into the penalty area for Minnesota. Liner. Be careful to clear it correctly. It will roll across the far-sided touchline, and an Aurora throw.
Olivia Schianelli getting rid of that one, but you could tell Minnesota Aurora knocking on the door. They're getting there. LeBron being the ever-present force in their way.
Another throw-in coming up for Minnesota Aurora and Hayden. It just feels like there's still one more goal out there to be had. The question is for which side?
I think right now you can argue both teams could make the statement. Minnesota Aurora looking currently likely to do so. However, Riverlight, once they get a hold of that ball, it's almost an immediate counterattack. You keep Taylor Kane off her line, things can happen.
Alex Teta, she plays it for now. Anthony, she plays one touch to the outside. Teta with a big one forward. Pass not quite there. She'll pressure on, and it goes all the way back to Kane.
And that's what I mean about that counterattack. 4 swift passes, and you're already in the opposition half. If they can keep that up, one of them's going to slip through, somebody's going to fall. And Riverlight could be in for 2.
Come the lights again. Anthony pivots, powers forward, and has it taken away. 77th minute here. It's getting down to the nitty-gritty. Kane. Ball won by Minnesota Aurora. Trying to play it up the channel. Their team holding possession for too long, but here come the lights. It's 4-on-4. Lynch will distribute. Trying to run on. Ball stays in play. Nice back heel. Flick forward to Teta. Pass came in a little hot. We'll play it out to the far side. Bodies into the box. Anthony drives, steps over to that right foot. And forces the corner.
Donnelly gets a good foot in there. Stopping the ball, giving them a corner kick, but you can tell Riverlight finding that energy in the final 15 minutes, making everything count. Although one thing I do want to see more, Devin Lynch, you're a good carrier of the ball. You're good at creating opportunities. Pass the ball, show yourself that you're able to make big plays and make things happen. And I think the second goal is coming.
Maybe a little bit of discussion of who's going to take the set piece after the substitutions were made. So maybe the designated taker was out. Regardless. Outswinging ball. Teta comes down with it. Still headed around. Still loose. And the one-time touch from Burke sells what?
Teta had a good initial head to it. Anthony with the follow-up didn't get really any contact on it. Just bounced off her. Burke went for power. Sails right over. Riverlight, this could really come down to the wire.
Here comes Shell. Shell has her pass intercepted. Nice wall off, but that will stay with Minnesota Aurora. Here comes French. Again, sticking with Aurora. Sticking with Minnesota Aurora, Shell will have the throw-in job. She acquired a multi-assist game earlier last season. They took on Stetson, one of the more unique mascots in college sports, the Hatters. Nice ball forward. Mackenzie Anthony will have it. Plays it off. Here come the lights. Play forward. Lynch. Shell hits the deck. And the lights will have a dangerous throw in. And Shell, arguing to one of the field officials, I'm getting trucked. How are we not getting a call the other way?
Devin Lynch doesn't have a lot of speed, but what she does have is a lot of technical ability, which gives her an edge in the final third. That time, speed caught up to her, and one of the center backs, I believe that was Norfolk, all over her.
Green able to play it off. Chipped inside, and not all too dangerous as Kane's able to catch up to it.
Only 10 minutes to go right now. Both teams just trying to get anything going. But Cody, if you're in the final 10, what changes do you make tactically?
Well, I think it depends on your mindset, right? It's kind of like a similar situation in other sports, right? If you're on the road, you go more aggressive and try and see out a result. And if you're at home, are you going to say, all right, we'll play for the away leg? I think, depending on some of the opportunities you got later in this contest, which quite frankly won't be very many because of how quickly both teams are switching ends, I would almost say it's okay to play for the draw. Get the point. Each side necessarily will be happy, and we'll see you almost 10 days from now. We go to Minnesota. But obviously, the thing that will haunt some of the Lights fans and supporters here in attendance was immediately surrendering after going up 1-0. And so, as much and as satisfying as that would be to see you go up 2-1, is that worth the risk of going down 2-1?
There's going to be a table that you're going to have to look at and be like, all right, is it worth going to go get that second goal? If there's 2-3 minutes left on the clock, you go for it. That's not a whole lot of time for Minnesota Aurora to make much happen.
Well, somehow fluttered in play, found its way to Braun. I agree with you. I think it's very similar to a situation, right, if you're playing overtime, basketball, football, really any sudden death sport. It's how aggressive do you try and play at the risk of getting burned on the other end? And if you're one of the players from Minnesota Aurora, do you think you're able to counterattack quickly off of what River Light's doing? If so, I think you play for the road point.
And I think at this point, they know they have the speed. Riverlight defensively keeping up with them, but offensively, just about half a foot behind. Trying to keep up with the strength of this side. Looks like Coach Latshaw III bringing on a couple more subs.
Trying to get there, goes off a back of one of the players from Minnesota Aurora. For a moment, it looked like they might be able to spring it free, but you're right, Hayden. It looks like Charles Latshaw III will use his final 2 moves off the bench. Ball in behind. And they're going to call her offside. I thought it was a fairly close draw, but they're going to say it was clear cut. And linesman's flag is up.
And ultimately, I think that's what you have to look at the end of the day. Of offsides may have killed them, but we're going to see a couple players come off from Nahara, the captain of this side, and the leading goal scorer for Riverlight and Mackenzie Anthony.
So last 2 moves from Coach Latshaw III. Shell has it for Minnesota Aurora as we resume play. bounce. French trying to wall off, now accelerates.
Riverlight FC substitution. Coming off the pitch, number 23, Isabella Najera, and number 4, Mackenzie Anthony. Coming onto the pitch, number 17, Alex Arnold, and number 16, Emily Rossi.
So with Rossi and Arnold as we go over the PA, checking into the contest. So Aurora, a nice interplay. Only push forward. Did she keep that in? It says no.
Which ultimately I think was the best opportunity for Minnesota Aurora there. You're bringing in a couple of key players for Riverlight, just looking to make anything happen. We've seen Alex Arnold before. Came on and for about 25-30 minutes against the Dutch Lions. Had a couple of good passes. The sophomore, redshirted at Western Michigan in her freshman year and graduated from Plainfield South. But for Rossi, graduated from Glenbard West, currently attending Loyola. Getting some big talent coming into this side off the bench.
And undercooked and miscommunicated exchange. Well, Hayden, we're starting to get down to about your 5-minute mark here without stoppage time. And this is usually we're hinting at maybe seeing try and push forward for 1 or 2 more cracks and then packing it in. Not necessarily parking the bus, but saying, all right, we'll see you 10 days from now and see if one of us can't get a result.
Which, 5 minutes, I'm assuming at least 2 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the day. Play for the goal. If it doesn't happen, we'll see you in 10 days.
Aurora not really coming out of their half. Understanding the situation similarly to that of Riverlight. That ball intended on the left-hand side was sent out of play for Doherty.
Schmeiser with the right idea. Trying to move the ball forward. Unfortunately, just a little too much heat on it.
Taylor Keene has it. Look for Riverlight FC to play the second touch. Nice man on here. Trying to battle for it. Nothing easy. And a foul against the Lights.
They're going to pull this play back, which I thought was a rather interesting call. Could have been a play on, but I think with the ball going 50-50 in either team's direction, that was a good decision.
I like the aggressiveness, though, from Riverlight FC. I mean, it's different from us up here in the press box. But down there, they're saying, no, we've been the better team now. We're playing for the second goal. We're going to press you and see if we can't force a mistake. I like the aggressiveness, but Minnesota Aurora just somehow keeps matriculating down the field.
There's a reason they've been undefeated in the regular season for so long. They know how to play for points. They'll play for wins. They'll play for draws, but loss isn't in their vocabulary.
Lights throwing. All overran. Played all the way back to Taylor King, who comes out to about the 30-yard line. She'll get its head to it, and it'll be off of her to the Lights.
Teta just trying to contain herself down this left-hand side. You have some height in the offensive third. If you're able to get a corner, I think that's Riverlight's best option right now.
Headed back down softly to the playing surface. Big push forward here for Minnesota Aurora. Lowry plays it forward. Whipped into the mixer. And sent right back out across the touchline. Minnesota Aurora hurrying, trying to get the ball back in quickly. Turns. Left-footed effort blocked away. Still kept alive though. 1-2. Chance here for Minnesota Aurora, continuing to carry just across the 18. Have to be careful not to foul. Nice tackle in the penalty area. Riverlight FC clears it away.
Ella Burke A stand-up performance from her today, doing her defensive duties very, very well. That slide tackle is just the staple of it.
Right off now. Do the Lights have anything left in them offensively? Will they see this out as a 1-1 draw? It will be exactly what the Lights would have wished for. Lynch came on quickly to pressure on the center backs. However, here comes the counter. Minnesota Aurora plays it through. And tries the advancing pass. Teta tries to run down on it. Into the 90th minute. Both these teams have done a really good job today, taking their chances when they're there and honoring the other's attempt on the other end. Right to the wide side. And here come the Lights. Maybe one of their last few vestiges for a win. Flips forward, ball still in play. Lynch with the ball at her feet, plays it through. Teta's onside. Cross it back in with the left, and it just wasn't on target. That's maybe a foot or so to the right and in play. You may be talking about a 2-1 Lights lead.
Teta, talk about a game of inches. Barely keeps the ball in play. Unfortunately, hits the football upright. As the clock hits 90, that could have very well been one of the last chances for Riverlight.
Into stoppage time. Time now being kept on the field. Lights pressing forward. They have it. Chip towards the side. Here comes Riverlight FC. Sent out, but a dangerous throw-in. This match may not be over yet. Quickly thrown in. Crossed inside, trying to find Teta. And we'll have a... I'm not necessarily sure I'm in agreement with that.
It just seems like a very late call.
Regardless, Taylor King will have it just outside the 18. Time has to be getting short here. Could have been more than a minute or two put on of extra time. 1-1 and out. Aurora with the throw-in. And there is the full-time whistle, and you can see both teams not exactly excited about the result, but will honor it nonetheless. 1-1. The final here, just outside the campus for Aurora University in the Spartan Athletic Park. And Hayden, we'll see each other very soon.
Yes, there's a lot of games coming up for Riverlight. 4 consecutive home games. This just being the first of the bunch. Both teams shaking hands, showing respect to one another, but as you mentioned, neither team exactly thrilled about that result.
These two teams will see each other again on, that would be next month on the 8th. So, both teams will have a home contest. Next, Riverlight FC will close out their 3-game homestand to begin the season against Chicago City SC. Minnesota Aurora will get their home opener against RKC Third Coast before we each hit the road again. And after that game on the 28th, Riverlight FC, we will not see them at home until the 13th of the following month as they hit the road for 4 in a row against Bavarian, RKC Third Coast. They'll see at Aurora in Rochester. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in this Memorial Day weekend. We'll see you tomorrow as the men are in action against St. Charles. Until then, we'll see you next time.